This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everybody. We are here. I'm going to say it right away. We're going to get right to it. We are here to improve your intimacy, and especially if you are a woman. And maybe things have changed for you in terms of your drive and just view of things, and you're not really sure. A lot of things could come under that category depending on your age, maybe menopause, but maybe not. What can you do to improve that situation, to improve your intimacy, your connection? We're going to delve into tantric suggestions today, and she's going to give us those. She's a women's intimacy and empowerment coach, and so great to have her back. Teja Valentin is on the program. How are you doing today?
I am well. I'm well. Thanks.
So, the first time I ever heard that word, tantric, was connected to the singer Sting. And there was that rumor going around that he employs some techniques like that, tantric techniques, we'll call it that, and has a great outcome. Can last forever, if you will. Now,
Yes.
it could have been a rumor, and there's different ways to look at last, whatever that would mean. Um, but I found it interesting, and then I started looking a little bit deeper into that. But this is something that goes back many, many hundreds and hundreds of years, right?
Yes. Yes. And I couldn't tell you the whole history of it, but I mean, the word tantra literally means to weave. So, and what that weave meaning is like the masculine, the feminine energies. And so men are very one pointed. Think of your sexual organ, right? It's very one pointed. Like versus women, we have our sexual organs are a little more broad. We have more, we have our breasts, our yoni, like everything. So it's more of a feminine. It's a softer way. Like we don't outwardly, I mean, we have our breasts, but that I'm talking more specifically right now, like the yoni. It's more of an inward, right?
Yep.
It's more of an inward. And and so when we combine these energies of the masculine, the feminine, and the polarities, there we are introducing, new energy. And I think a lot of times, I'm talking to my friends, I'm even myself, like I'm in menopause now, right? So and but your sex life doesn't have to pause or fall away, you just need to tweak it. And so what I'm having these conversations where I'm like, just in general, just trying to help a friend out. And I'm like, well, what are you doing? Like they're like, nothing. I'm tired. I'm just like, I just want to check out. They're working all day or they have kids. And um, so I feel like that when you get to that point, or even before you get to that point, you should start really going more inward, like taking time for yourself, like going for a walk, doing these things where you're connecting a little bit more, because there's also like an aspect of something bigger than you, like this energy of nature or spirit or something, so that um, you can connect it to whatever that thing is and really learn to bring that in. It could be your breath, right? Breath. And so breath work, eye gazing, touching, like, and really having that time to decompress, like transition from work to play, right? So now your husband's home and he's in the mood, and he doesn't really have to take as long to transition.
He's already been transitioning for the last 12 hours. He's been thinking about it. So I'm just saying.
No, but it's true, right? Like I think I think, men do need a little transition, but not as long as the women. And
Mhm.
so when the women can maybe take a bath or something like that, because it helps them get back into their senses. So you want to first of all like be in your body, right? You want to come back, let work go, let the kids go, carpool, whatever it is. Come back into your own body. So now you're more centered and grounded. You're also coming back to your breath, right? Because um, we're very go, 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 and our breath is so super shallow. We're not letting the breath come into our body. So when we can take bigger, deeper breaths, right? We let that breath go all the way down into our body, like and sink it down all the way to our pelvic floor.
Hmm.
And
Well,
add a hum usually because that helps them bring it down.
it seems like we need to transition from, let's say you come home from work, your partner's, ready to go, but you haven't transitioned. And I know this is going to be a weird analogy, but it sounds also part of this is energy because we're talking about your mindset and all of that. If you watch, this happens with my dog from the outside to the inside. Before he comes in, he shakes. He goes, and I always used to look at that. I'm like, oh, okay. He just doesn't like the way his fur feels from the outside to the inside, the wind or whatever. But then I look deeper into this, talk to experts about it, and just in general about energy. He's transitioning. That's how he's making that transition from coming to outside to inside. In a weird way, it sounds like what we're talking about here. You need to make the transition, and part of that transition is connecting with yourself.
Yeah, and that's actually I mean, even humans, I would actually suggest that shake because you're recalibrating your nervous system when you do that.
Yeah.
And so when you can literally shake it off, like shake off your day earlier, and you're coming back into your body. And so the other thing like I would recommend is like finding where is home in your body. For some people it might be, their chest or their lower belly, and
Mm.
really drop into that feeling that is feeling safe, feeling secure, love, and just stay there, right? And just that's where you would maybe start to breathe and let that breath expand, like visualize that breath expanding to fill up your whole body, not just that one little part of you. So that now you're having these loving feelings, very deep, safe uh, feelings of, warmth, gentleness. You can bring in a quality of, whatever the quality is, home, what does home feel like? Or what does love feel like? Or something like that. And you let it like spread through your whole body. You feel your body, your pelvic floor especially soften, your heart soften. So now when you're engaging with your partner, you're bringing in love, warmth, energy together, right? So that now you can both share in that feeling versus, oh, I'm so frustrated, this, that, whatever. And we like to like bring in everybody, whoever wants to listen to your, all the stuff that bad that happened, and instead maybe get yourself, ready and
Hmm.
back in your body. So that's number one.
Well, yeah, I have to believe and would love your thought here that everything that we're talking about isn't just to set up an intimate night. This
Hmm.
is fundamental in connecting with yourself for anything, any reason.
Yeah.
And so many of us think we know us, we think we're connected to us, but we're really not. And to your point on the breathing, so many times you might notice if you pay attention to it, you're intentional, you breathe shallow, and you're not even realizing it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, flight or fight. You're basically in flight or fight mode. That's how we're going through our day.
yeah. Yeah, and it's just a product of what our days are like. I had a conversation with my friend's son a few years ago. He was working on a deck at my house, and we are just talking, just some kind of weird conversation. And we're like, I'm always tired. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, me too. I don't just like feel like no energy. This is going to sound ridiculous. but two grown men identified we weren't breathing deeply.
Nice.
Ridiculous, but it
Nice.
was like
That's not
we took.
ridiculous.
Then
Yeah.
we did. I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel better. What? That's what that was. And that was a wake up for me that, when those moments come up, and why would he's working on a deck? He's trying to get it right. He's, carrying wood and lumber. I'm doing other stuff over here. If you were chased by a tiger, how would you breathe?
Yeah.
Short breaths, like
Right.
as you're running.
Exactly.
Well, as you're going through your day and you're busy and I got to take care of this and take care of that, I only got a 15-minute break. I got to do this. You're probably breathing shallow, and you're telling your inner system, we're in survival mode. We're breathing quickly. We're breathing. How can you focus on intimacy? How can you relax? How can you feel comfortable? You can't.
You're not. That's exactly, yeah, the point. Um, I had a client who, and she was actually on the younger side. She was a newlywed, and but they've been together for so long before they got married. And so she was afraid that now that they're married, that their sex life would get boring. And so that's why she actually came to me, which
Hmm.
I thought was wonderful because there wasn't actually a problem. She just wanted to prevent a problem. And what we explored was ways, exactly kind of this conversation is ways to really expand that sexual energy. How do you get it moving, going, and within her own self to deepen what she already had? And then, and
Hmm.
then once she learned, she shared it with her husband. And I had her do what I call like a lion, like a lion, like an activation process where she would breathe, ah, and arching her spine, and she's on her all fours so that she's moving that breath all the way down her spine and allowing herself to take full deep breaths because most of us, like I said, we were shallow breathing. And and then I had her because eyes are super important too. So like in a more of a tantric, to add a little more tantra into your sex life, eye gazing is very intimidating. But once you drop everything else and just really focus on your partner and like eye gaze, your eyes also are now, if you have a soft gaze, if that's important, have a soft gaze, that opens your heart, opens up your, down your sexual organs, feeling safe and seen and nice, right? So I had her do this exercise in a mirror while she was doing this breath work. And she said, so I gave her this for homework and I said, try it out, practice, and then when you feel good, try it with the husband. She returned back and said, "Oh my God, Teja, you would not believe we had the best sex ever. And not only was it the best sex, but it was the most fun that they had. They laughed and, really got to enjoy themselves because they were exploring. They were in that like almost like a kid mode,
Hmm.
they were
Hmm.
exploring. Because then they were like, oh, and then we could try this, and then we can try that. And I thought that was so wonderful to hear.
The way it should be.
Yeah,
The way and exploring, even with the eye thing, there's more of a connection that you're making and more comfortability with all of that. And let's face it, so many of us can't even look at ourselves in the mirror.
I
How
know.
many people can't look at themselves in the mirror and say, I love you?
Right. I got chills. Like that's so 100%. That's actually one of the exercises I would have if you didn't have a partner, or even if you did, to
Hmm.
do that
Just
because
even for yourself. Like,
that's,
and it
yeah,
not easy. You have to get to that point where you truly believe that you're good with you, and that could take a journey. Uh, I remember, oh, probably 7 months ago, I'm in a men's group. We support each other, and we also do community service and leadership. And there was an exercise where we all needed to, while the others were watching, stare at a mirror and talk about why we love ourselves and why we're good people and our positive qualities, it sounds so much easier than it is, but it was not easy for many. And others would call each other out. You're not looking at yourself. You're not looking in the mirror. All right, you got me. All right. and you had to address yourself. And it was for a period of time too. Um, it's a game changer when you do some of these things and it seems so simple. Like, well, how is that going to make a difference? But it really does, right?
It does. I've done exactly what you said. It is hard.
Mm.
I think I came up with three things and then I just stopped and like, yeah,
Hmm.
it is. It's very hard. But again, I think a lot of times we're operating from here
Yeah.
instead of here. So
Yes.
there was a point I felt myself shift when I kind of came back into my body, that I could feel my heart expand and I felt like, oh, and and then all of a
I'm
sudden
home.
started rattling off more things that
Yeah.
I hadn't even thought of before when I was struggling to get, out of my head.
I remember you bring back a memory too. Probably a couple of years ago, I'm at the gym, and so many times we'll look at ourselves like, oh my God, look at that right there. Oh, you got a zit right there. Oh, you gained some weight. Look at this, look at that. And we would never say the things that we say to ourselves to somebody that we love. You never, somebody you love walking down the hallway. Well, look at that. What, you got that. You're gonna wear that today? Oh my gosh, blah, blah. You never do that. Well, I'm at the gym and I would do that like everybody else. Look at that there.
Hmm.
But then I just happened to pass a mirror and it was a full body shot. And I was like, oh, you're not so bad after all. Oh, and what it was I was seeing the total sum as opposed to focusing on, a cheek where you might have a zit that day or whatever it might be. And it kind of refocused things, the big picture. Is
That's a good point.
never
Yes,
do that. You
that
know,
is good.
I
That
don't
is,
own a full length mirror, by the way. So maybe that was it. I don't know.
yeah, that's an excellent point. So, yeah, and then, like there's more that you can do as far as with a partner, even with yourself. So everything I'm telling you is stuff that you can do for yourself.
Sure.
Uh, the mirror thing is great if you're by yourself. It's very uncomfortable at first, and then just learning to like caress yourself, like, touch yourself. So touching is, you want a very light touch because you, you want to focus on the sensation. So the sensation is very light. It's like almost tickly, but gentle, and it's like a correct. So the more that you can learn how to play with touch and pressure, same thing as like breath, right? You can make it a nice, easy, soft breath, or you can make it bigger, depending on the sensation or the feeling that you want to bring in. So when you're with a partner, especially with a partner, I would think, is learning each other's touch. Some people want a more firm touch, a softer touch. So you can just make it like a game where you're saying, um, blindfold them. I'm just going to touch you because now
Mm,
you can only focus on the touch,
yep.
not what's happening, right? So then now you're really hyper focused on touch and you're like, oh yeah, I like that. And then you might notice that other sensations are starting to happen because you're not taking in all this other information. You're just focusing on that.
And
So
that can be like really powerful,
mhm,
because it's just so subtle, but so strong at the same time.
yeah, or taking like a piece of fruit and eating it as slow as possible.
Like really enjoying it.
Yeah, or you can like, feed each other so that you want to go into more than your senses. So what are you tasting, feeling, hearing, seeing, touching, right? I think I just named five, right? So like you want to play into your senses. So those are like um, ways to really engage a full body pleasure.
Is there an exercise too? I think it's called a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, where you name senses and All right, five. Give me five things you see right now. So you name them.
Yes.
Give me four things you smell right now. Give me three things you can reach out and touch right now. Whatever the senses are, just to kind of bring you there, and so you're focusing on your senses.
Yes. I actually had to do that, I think, for someone, a friend of mine, who was having a freak out. And I said, okay, just listen to me. I said, name all the things you see right now in front of you.
Mm,
And she just started naming things. And then I said, okay, what are you hearing? And then she started naming, and then she's like, and then like just those two questions. I didn't even get through the whole thing. She's like, oh, okay. I think I'm feeling better now. Like, thank you.
yeah.
It's exactly that. Yes, you're
Uh,
right.
I want to just briefly back up what you said a second ago about the light touch, even just yourself. If I can't fall asleep, I just touch my chest, just for like soothing a baby. And
Yeah,
after a while, I don't even know I'm doing it. It feels like somebody else doing it. I'm off. I'm sleeping.
that's
It
awesome.
works.
Yeah, it's awesome, self-soothing, because I don't know that I feel like we need permission to touch our own skin,
Yeah.
our body. And so when you can do that and self-soothe, that's huge. That's important. That's like, I think that should be in our one of our toolkits, learn how to
Well,
soothe.
look at what challenges us, things from our subconscious and our childhood, and that can hold us back from even intimacy, having, or could cause challenging issues there. So what are we doing? We're reparenting ourselves to address those issues. You're doing the same thing when light touch, whatever it might be. You're soothing yourself. You're
Yeah.
parenting yourself because we're kids. Essentially, we're we're big kids because we're piloting on the subconscious.
Yes, right. And yeah, and even more on touch, right? Because like hugs feel great, but also don't take it to the extreme where you're like, "Rah," like
A bear
having,
hug. Yeah.
yeah, and because you want, especially when you're, I mean, it's okay, I think, in more of a casual setting, but if you're ready for it. But if you're in a more intimate, you want to have a little more space so that you can feel when if you're touching your partner, right?
Mm.
There should be a little bit more space, not like far, but just enough so that the person can feel. If you're smothering, that they can't feel, then they're like, you know what I'm
I
saying?
totally get it. Like, for example, yeah, kissing is great, but one very light kiss on a forehead,
Yes,
very light, just boop. It's like, whoa, you woke me up.
exactly. That's
Hmm.
exactly it. It's exactly.
Wow. Super cool conversation. And this helps people and especially women. And you mentioned before about menopause, where there's changes and direction. You got to come back home again, I guess, to your body. How does somebody connect with you, Tasia?
Yeah, TejaValentin.com, my website, or email Teja@TejaValentin.com. And yeah, so and then you can also find me phone. At the moment, I'm blanking out, but yes,
It was the light kiss on the forehead that did it. I know it.
email and website are probably the best ways right now. Yes, I don't
Um,
put spam on the phone, so, but
gotcha. So,
email or website, yes,
and I just want people to know the spelling TejaValentin.com, correct?
correct.
Awesome. Uh, always heard about tantric. Wasn't really 100% sure what it is, how it is. Thank you for everything today. Really appreciate it.
Sure, thank you.
And we'll catch up soon. We'll be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.